One of the most condescending, stupid things that I've seen on YouTube are video titles that have something along the lines of, "You don't understand, insert product, movie, or character." Whenever I see these types of videos pop up on my feed, I feel like I'm genuinely being talked down to. Like you're telling me and a bunch of other people that we don't understand a certain thing about a character or movie or show or whatever. Like, what exactly makes you special? What makes you the one that actually understands what you're talking about? Because ironically, it could be you that doesn't understand for all we know. What makes you so special? Nobody understands Son Goku. Dot dot dot. Really, nobody understands one of the most mainstream popular characters in fictional history. Okay, you're the one that understands this character. All right, yeah, sure, I bet. So then I give the courtesy of watching the video, and the nigga is just basically summarizing the show. Like anybody who seen Dragon Ball Z already knows what he's talking about. He does talk about how people criticize Goku for being a bad dad, but to be fair here, he mostly is. I mean, he's a very absent father figure, but overall, it's just him mostly summarizing what people have already seen in the show. No one understands Garp. What's not to understand about Garp? Anytime I go to a One Piece video that involves Monkey D. Garp, the comment sections are always glazing the guy. Are you saying that people don't like Garp or something like that, or what? What are you trying to say about Garp? So I give the guy the courtesy of watching his video, giving him a view, and it's just him just making basic observations and summing up the obvious that anyone who's already read or watched One Piece already knows. Like I really do fucking hate these types of people. Like these people aren't really saying anything unique or interesting. They're just summing up the plot and making the most obvious fucking observations possible. That time South Park tried to redefine a slur. Why would I watch this video? I would much rather watch the actual episode. The next type of video I hate seeing on my feed is blank is underrated. Because you see, the problem with these types of videos is that they usually don't actually recommend things that are actually underrated. Like for me, when I think of something that's underrated, I really mean something that's not genuinely talked about in the general population. Like I'll give some examples, like Chico and Rita, or the movie Wrinkles. Those are movies that nobody really knows about. I see these normies on YouTube just suddenly glaze like a Disney movie and call it underrated, like Chicken Little. Really, nigga? You're saying Chicken Little is underrated? I'm not saying Chicken Little is a bad movie or anything like that, but the movie objectively made 300 plus million in the box office, and I'm pretty sure it regularly shows on cable television, and I'm pretty sure it's available on streaming services. It's not underrated at all. It's a very recognizable movie. It's definitely way more successful than a lot of other movies I've seen. Like, get on. You want to talk about underrated? Go fucking watch Ernest and Celestine, you fucking normie. Plus, Chicken Little made an appearance in Kingdom Hearts 2, and a lot of people like that game. And look, I know that Chicken Little had a lot of hate from critics, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a very successful movie that does have a lot of fans, like kids that grew up watching it and stuff. So, yeah, I don't consider something like Chicken Little to be underrated. I'm sorry to go on that little tangent there, but, yeah. Anyway, on to the next point. And oh my god, I hate BoJack Horseman YouTubers. Like, I really do love the show BoJack Horseman. It is a great show that I strongly recommend. Stay away from the BoJack Horseman content creators, though. You see, my problem with BoJack Horseman fans is that anytime they watch the show, despite having no actual training or degree or even any real life experience in that profession, they think that for whatever reason they're like trained psychologists, that they understand the meaning of life and understand the human brain or whatever. And I'm like, no, calm down. It's a show about a cartoon talking horse. It's a really mature show. It's a great show actually, but get off your fucking high horse, pun intended. The complete BoJack Horseman timeline. Why would I watch this? What's the point? I could easily just realize the timeline for myself by just watching all 6 seasons of the show. Why would I want to watch the less funny, less interesting YouTuber summarize the plot of the more interesting, more funny, and more dramatic show. I just don't see the point. Confronting morality, the view from halfway down. Really, you need to actually explain the view from halfway down scene. I'm pretty that scene was very obvious with its message, but okay, yeah, I'll just listen to the YouTuber instead of just coming to my own conclusion as an individual based off of my own, perceived recognition of the show. Morality and BoJack Horseman. First of all, fuck this person for making the thumbnail. Congrats, you missed a point. Like, really, that's very condescending and pretentious of you. But I gave the person the courtesy of my view and watched the video. Didn't even bother leaving a mean comment or anything like that, because why bother? And is literally just someone summing up and making basic observations of the fucking show. It doesn't help that this person does this condescending fake ass laugh like Camilla Harris. And I'm not saying there's anything to not discuss about BoJack Horseman, but all the glazing around the show, these people who go around pretending to be like fake psychologists that understand the meaning of the universe and whatnot, fuck off. I'd rather just watch the show and come to my own conclusions on the themes and whatnot, okay? Now, a common defense for these types of videos is that, you're just being anti-analysis, you're just being anti-discussion. No, idiot. I'm being anti-saying the fucking obvious. King of the Hill, Bobby, and capitalism. Really, you're using that episode to talk about capitalism. I'm okay with criticizing capitalism or talking about capitalism or whatever. Like, one of my favorite games ever is Final Fantasy VII. Not the garbage remake, the Chad original. But come on now, this episode of King of the Hill isn't that deep. It's just Bobby working for a mentally challenged, crappy boss. That could happen under any kind of economic system, not just capitalism, socialism, communism. It's a big world, and there will always be dumb bosses. Did Tom Sloan ruin Daria? No, he didn't. In fact, a lot of the Daria episodes revolving around Tom not only have positive reception from fans, but also are some of the highest rated episodes in the Daria series. So, yeah, I'm not wasting my time watching your fucking video of you saying the obvious. And I have nothing against people who say the obvious, but what I do have against is when you're saying the obvious and you decide to drag that obvious information out into 20, 30, maybe even hour-long videos. Like, fuck off with that. I'm not clicking your boring shit. Daria fans give me the same vibes as BoJack Horseman fans, because while Daria is a really great show, a lot of the videos and fans that center themselves around Daria just say the obvious. Like, they just point out and make these obvious observations that the show already made it very fucking clear to the audience. You could have just figured this shit out by just watching the fucking show instead of listening to the fucking YouTuber. These PNG cartoon YouTubers with their generic, boring-looking avatar, I understand why they make these types of videos. They have an audience that likes hearing them state obvious information about a cartoon or an animated film instead of just watching the cartoon or animated film. They're getting views off of this kind of stuff, and this is just my opinion anyway. At the end of the day, I'm just critiquing the critics. When I was younger, I used to watch Mysterious Mr. Enter. That was my introduction to cartoon community review genre, or whatever you want to call it. And that led me to finding other cartoon critics. Nowadays, though, the only cartoon critics that I like are Rebel Taxi and Steve Reviews, because these two YouTubers, unlike the other ones I just criticized, they don't just expel obvious information. Steve Reviews and Rebel Taxi are actually funny. They actually, bring up some stuff that I myself didn't even know about. That's why I like them. But these other cartoon critic channels, just go away. Get off of my feed, please. Now, some of these cartoon critics that I criticize, they do have fanboys. So if for whatever reason this video blows up in views or gets more views than expected on my small channel, they're gonna usually comment something like, "Oh, you're just jealous of this cartoon critic because they make more money than you," or something like that, or because they're more famous than you. Well, first of all, I don't really care about fame on YouTube. You know, the good thing about me is that since I don't have to worry about the algorithm or whatever, or since I don't have to worry about appeasing an audience, I do YouTube as a hobby. I don't really care if, you know, I don't get famous on YouTube. YouTube is not my job. Secondly, I'm an army veteran, so I basically get uh, compensation money at the end of each month due to some of the health issues I got during my service. So there's a good chance that I make more money at the end of each month than what other YouTubers make at the end of, you know, each month from their Patreon e-begging donations or whatever. So this video is not a jealousy thing. This is just me venting. And yeah, that's all. I'm gonna go play the game Lost Judgment now.